All right, so now we're into chapter 13. Sorry, chapter. God, how about episode 13 of Lego Marvel's Avengers? And this brings us into New York proper. And what we're going to have to do here is that our team of Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye have to rescue these 5 people. Now, they end up rescuing more than 5 people, but the game only keeps track of these 5. And I believe one of the 5 is Beth the waitress, who has an unusual amount of importance in this game. She gives a couple of missions later on in free play. But, you know, it's just kind of a thing. Another thing that we're going to be doing is, you know, once again, working to milk our stud count. So even though we've rescued the first person, and she was pretty easy to save once Hawkeye blew up the silver item, we're going to be destroying a number of things like these cars and putting out some fires before we get to the next spot. So you can see the overturned city bus down there. You can also see a drain right here. Now, the drains are back from Lego Marvel Superheroes, and you need someone who can change shape or form to utilize the drains. So we don't have anybody who can do that here. Most likely you'll be using the Vision to do that in free play, although you can use other characters like Doctor Strange if you so choose. Now, you can see the mini kit there. You can't get to it again without going through the drain. Now, every time you put out the fire, you get a few more studs, which is why I'm bothering to do this at all. The only issue, of course, is that we're being shot at by the Chitauri while we do this, which is why I changed characters to Black Widow here, in hopes that her stealth ability would cause them to ignore me. Of course, shooting Captain America's shield doesn't really get you anywhere. So there's a Chitauri chariot up there, and there's only one way to destroy it, and that's by setting off a real-time event. I'm sorry, a quick-time event with Black Widow, by having her get on top of the bus. So we're not there yet. You know, here we got Captain America using one of his special moves. I'm really trying, again, I'm blowing up these taxis purely for the purpose of getting more studs. And since Hawkeye has arrows that can destroy any object pretty much in the game, I'm switching to his character to try to maximize that stuff. One of the problems I'm having, though, is that the Chitauri keep chewing hearts off of my characters. And once a character dies, we lose studs as a result. So I'm running around trying to gain studs, but at the same time, I'm also just trying not to lose studs. Alright, so now we found a place for a special Avenger combo move, and this is the famous, Black Widow jumping off of Captain America's shield. It's not the one from the movie, but, they decided to use that as a combo move. And so you'll see it several different times. And so now we've taken Black Widow all the way to the bus, and trying to make sure she doesn't. Okay, I try to shoot the Chitauri chariot. That doesn't do me any good, but then I press the B button, and that sets off the QuickTime event. So now we're in one of these little fights. that honestly take too long, and I'm assuming that they just take too long. I don't think this is an issue of me not pressing the buttons fast enough. But once we get rid of that Chitauri chariot right there, we get some blocks to play with. We don't have to worry about that gun shooting at us anymore. And now we can also make a move to rescue the people on the bus. Okay, you can see that we've set up some sort of jack underneath the bus. And now we're trying to figure out what else we can use around here using the PDA. This is also useful for studs, because every time you hit one of the correct PDA places, you'll get studs as a result. So there's the golden object, and of course that means we need Hawkeye. So Hawkeye's going to blow up this car, and that's going to reveal what looked to be the pieces to a Captain America shield switch back on that same car. And again, you're trying to do things while being attacked by lots of Chitauri, not always the easiest thing to do. Now, in military strategy, you might consider taking out all the Chitauri first and then doing what you're trying to do. But in this game, the Chitauri spawn infinitely, so that really doesn't work out very well. Alright, so we get blown up again. And you can see there are a couple things that we can do here. We can blow up the glass, and that's something Hawkeye does.
Oh, thanks. I thought I'd be stuck like a mannequin forever.
And that rescues another trapped person. And then Hawkeye can also blow up the side of the bus to let somebody escape from out there. Again, for this section, I would recommend being Hawkeye or Black Widow when you're running around, just because they have more projectile-based weapons. The Chitauri won't normally go down with one shot, but you know, it's easier to manage than Captain America's melee attacks. Alright, so we've rescued the people on the bus, and now we can head elsewhere. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to get more studs by breaking more stuff. So now we're heading over here. Break this stuff over here. Notice I never made a move on that rubble. That was probably a mistake. Break that. Break that. We can blow up fire hydrants. You see, if we blow up 3 of them, we get a mini kit. Here's a police car that Tony could fix if he was here. Of course, he's not. And then I'm running around destroying the stuff on this side. And there's some fires that can be put out, which would gain us some more studs. And we can go into this building and not really accomplish anything here at the moment. And you can see some free play items, you know, like that police car that we need Iron Man to repair. You can also see an object that has to be destroyed by either a big figure or a Hulk figure. Now we're putting out some fires. And when you put out fires with Captain America, you need to be aware of where his rebound jump is going to put him, because he has no problem jumping into more fire, which will hurt him and can kill him. Now we found the second hydrant. And demolish this car here. Another fire to put out. Now we're working our way over here and looking at the stuff over here, so we've got some more fire to play with. Again, I like Captain America's shield abilities so much better in this game than I did in the original. Being able to put out fires instead of simply suppressing them for small periods of time is so much better. And now you can see there's a mini kit glowing in that door over there. We just need somebody to pull the door open, and that person is Hawkeye. So we have our second mini kit in the level. And at this point, we've pretty much destroyed everything we can destroy. So we can't farm any more studs out of the area. Well, I say that there's a lamppost over here.
Hey, can you get this stuff off me?
So now we need to lift this rubble off of this guy. And we're going to do this in the most dangerous way possible.
Thank you.
So Hawkeye manages to lift it off using his grapple. Now Loki's going to fly in. They're going to notice us, and they're going to blow up the cars in front of us. Which actually is going to give us a way through. Before, you couldn't have gotten through. And so now I'm using Hawkeye to shoot at enemies, but until Captain America takes care of that fire, there's not really anything we can do.
Over here! These guys won't let us go!
So Captain America taking care of one fire. And now I decided to go ahead and take out one of the Chitauri. It occurs to me that this part of the level will probably end when we successfully rescue the last person who's standing over there. So my first thought was to avoid her, because there's still some things that we needed, like that third hydrant over there in the corner. Unfortunately, she was rescued before our mini kit triggered on that hydrant, and so we didn't actually get credit for it. But we'll make sure we get it back when we come back here in free play. So now we are going to assemble the Avengers and finish off the Battle of New York, or at least get closer to it next time. See you then.